Hi guys, today we're going to work on a patterned line landscape. For this project you need some skinny markers, Sharpies, a ruler, and a pencil. The paper size I'm using is a 12 by 18. For the demonstration, however, I'm going to be using a 9 by 12 because a 12 by 18 does not fit in my screen. So one more time, you're going to need a 12 by 18 sheet of paper. But because that does not fit in my screen, I'm going to use a smaller paper just for the demonstration. All right, so we're going to start with our paper landscape style. So again, this is portrait style where it's nice and tall, but this one was going to be landscape style. And we are creating a landscape. So first you want to start off with your pencil, and we're going to go a little bit lower than halfway. So here's my side. So here's about my halfway point. I'm going to go a little bit below that, and I'm going to draw some hills. There's a hill. Here's another one, maybe a third. So I should have 3 hills. Now we're going to work on 1 point perspective. So 1 point perspective is where everything that we draw goes to 1 point. And we're only doing that for the hills because it looks really neat. So what I want to do is I want to start off with putting a line, and it's going to go above my hill. So I'm going to put it kind of in the center, not quite in the center, and I'm just going to put a little dot right here. Now don't draw that too dark because we're going to erase it at the end, right? And all of my lines that are on my hills are going to reach this 1 point. So let me show you one more time what that looks like. So on this landscape, all of these lines are actually going to 1 point, and it was much higher as up here. So from this point, I'm going to take my ruler, okay, and every time I make a mark, my ruler has to touch this point. So it's touching the point, and then I'm going to draw not on my sky, but I'm going to start my line on my hill, and I'm going to draw straight down like this. Then I'm going to, again, make my my ruler touch my point. I'm going to go from the point, and I want my gap to be a little bit wider than that. So I'm going to move my ruler over. Make sure, again, it's lined up with the point. Put my pencil down, draw it. And then I'm just going to repeat this process all the way across. Make sure it's a nice big gap. You don't want it too gigantic, but you don't want it too skinny either. So you just want like a medium size. Make sure my ruler is touching my point all the way down. Now this is too skinny to draw another one, so I'm going to start working on the other side. I'm going to turn my page slightly. So my ruler still touches this point. I like this size gap. Draw my line. And again, touches the point. And draw all the way down. And there I have my hills. So that all of my lines go to this 1 point. Now I'm done with this point. I can go ahead and erase it. Okay. Now I need to add a sun, a house, and some trees. So I'm going to start off with my sun, and I got to kind of plan out where I would like it. And I know I'm going to want my house up on this hill. So I'm going to put my sun actually in the middle. So this is just a curved line. Like so. And next I'm going to draw some trees. So what's really great about trees is there's a simple way to draw them. We're not making complex trees by any means. So I'm going to show you just a real quick, simple way. I'm going to do it on a different sheet of paper. So your tree is going to come, and these are partially curved lines, like if this is my hill, okay? And then we're going to draw a magical V in the middle, and this makes like tree branches. Now this one's a little bit skinnier than this side, so I'm actually going to just bring this one up a little bit higher and make another magical V. Now this creates what I like to call my tree trunk. And then I'm going to draw my trees around this. And so my trees are going to be like a slight curve, pick up your pencil, slight curve, pick up your pencil. Like this. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have a flat tree like this and then you're like, broccoli trees. We don't want broccoli trees. I also think it's funny when kids make them really fat and they look like this, and then their top of their tree looks like this. So these are two trees you would like to avoid, okay? So on here, I'm gonna draw my trees, and you gotta kind of plan where you want them. So I still want my house over here, so I'm gonna leave this little space blank. So I'm gonna draw my tree with my magical V's. And I still want my tree to be a pretty large size. I don't want it to be too small. So I'm gonna go, relatively close to the top of my page. Now I'm gonna draw another one on this side. Now this one I know I'm going to overlap because overlapping creates depth, okay? So I'm going to draw this tree. And that one got a little too tall. And I'm going to draw another one right here. And this one's going to go behind it. So I'm going to draw my tree and this part of it, and it just disappears behind it, okay? So I have 3 trees. You can draw 3 trees. You can draw 5 trees, but 3 is plenty for me. Then I'm going to draw my house. Now my hill's really tall, so I'm actually going to make my hill a little bit flatter. And I'm going to erase this. And then I'm going to just draw my house. Now my house is going to be real simple. We're not making anything complex about my house. It's just the front, my little roof. And then I'm going to have a line go this way. This line and this line are going to run parallel. Okay? And then this diagonal line is also going to run parallel with another diagonal line like this. These lines are parallel. And then this vertical line and this vertical line are going to be parallel. Okay? And my roof went too far. I just erased that line, and here is my house. And you can add a door if you like, or some windows. Okay, so this is just the basic outline of what we're going to do. Your next step is to Sharpie. Once you're Sharpied, you can erase. Now I'd like to point out something real quick to you. I didn't use a ruler to retrace these lines, but look, I missed. But rather than trying to fix them, what's great is you can just erase, and nobody's gonna know that those lines are slightly off, okay? So once you're done Sharpieing, you will erase all of your extra little pencil marks everywhere. All right, so that is part 1 of our 2-part video series.